Hey everybody, it's on Get to 134 here.
Average Joe Squad here as always.
And welcome to another episode of Remember the Hyphen, the show where we bring Gotham its reckoning. And tonight the streets will flow with Razzie Zazzy.
See, Adam, my name's not really Colton. My name's Todd. I'm going to blow up Todd. Anyway, guys, so if you haven't been able to deduce what we're talking about, most of you probably watched our video last week on Birds of Prey. And again, apologies for not having a video up this weekend, but I was on vacation, so we weren't able to film. We didn't have enough time to get something in before I left, so apologies on that again, but hey, we're back now. And after reviewing Birds of Prey, we needed to talk about something a little more positive, a little more better, creative quality. So this week we're going to be talking about the Harley Quinn animated show that's available on DC Universe. Now, we know that the season isn't done yet. We still have one more episode to go at the time of this uploading. But overall, we thought that what better way to kind of follow up a pretty negative review of Birds of Prey with something a little bit more upbeat and positive.
Yeah, no, like, especially because like him and I, we had started when the I think the show first came out because like
it had just come out, and because I have DC Universe and I actually re-upped to watch it, as well as get Batman Beyond on my phone because
I mean.
Gotta have priorities. But so what happened was we watched the pilot because our friend Doug, who has guest starred on a couple of our videos, mentioned it, like if we had seen it yet, what we thought, because he's a big animation buff. And so we watched it, and I remember our initial impressions being this is okay, but a little over the top.
Like when the Joker in the first episode rips a dude's face off and wears it like a mask,
I was like, oh, we're going this route with this.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
And I had kind of kept up with it a little bit. I had seen the trailer that came out right when they announced it, it's like, but I wasn't really excited for it because as much as I like Harley, I'm a little bit kind of done with everything being about Harley.
Because I'm getting real tired of DC's Harley's the fourth pillar of the DC universe. I'm like, I like her, but like, she can't be in everything. Like, I love her, but like, she cannot be in everything. If Heroes in Crisis is anything to go by, she cannot be in everything.
Yeah, and so like we watched it, we thought it was okay. It didn't really leave us with much of an impression.
It felt very much like a generic adult TV like cartoon, like especially with the gratuitous amounts of use of the word
blood and gore and the language being all over the place.
Like, for reference, I actually say the word fuck a lot outside of these videos. I'm a bit of a potty mouth. Like, because to me,
we can't be friends anymore.
I mean, I don't mind.
I can't condone this kind of language.
I cannot sanction your buffoonery.
Says the guy. I think I swear more than you do, honestly. And I have a pretty wide range of vocabulary when it comes to that.
But like for me, the word fuck in comedy has to be used sparingly because fuck is a word that you use for emphasis.
It's a sentence enhancer.
To be fair, Patrick was being stupid, but he really does have a point. He really does have a point. Like the word fuck should be used in a way that makes it funny. And it's like,
or showcases its emphasis.
Yeah, like to be like the angry video game nerd has made an art out of saying the word fuck.
And it's all coming up with all kinds of new spins on swearing.
But like holy shit, the amount of use of the word fuck in that episode. Like I felt like I was watching like The Sopranos when
like watching a parody almost.
Yeah, like it was because it was just so like.
So fast forward probably 2 months.
Yeah,
they were up to episode 8. So fast forward to that, and one day on a whim, we're on lunch, and I had been watching X-Men Evolution, and I wasn't really in the mood to watch more of it at that point.
Yeah.
And so I said I think, again, it was Doug. I think Doug had mentioned, had we been keeping up with it, because he had been watching clips of it. And I'm like, we really hadn't, but I was like, I on a whim, I was like, let's watch the rest of this.
Yeah.
And we got real into it.
Yeah, I want to say we watched like 4 or 5 episodes in like a week.
Yeah, I mean we went binge on it, and that was probably the biggest takeaway for me is that it got so much better after the pilot. Once they got off the ground, it really kind of kicked off into something that's really enjoyable.
Because like I feel like they made the first episode and they sent it into test audiences.
They went over the top with it. Because we're gonna
like,
we're gonna over the top.
And to be fair, like maybe that is the best when you're doing these streaming services is to start in a really extreme place to see
kind of grab them.
Yeah, but like also be like, well, let's just like go beyond the line and see what we can get away with.
Yeah. So then we have the boundaries.
Yeah, and then they kind of reeled it in. Because to be honest, the second episode actually was what really drew me into the show. Because like it was much more dialed back on the unbelievable amounts of gore and like cursing.
Yeah.
And to be fair,
there's still a healthy amount.
Yeah, there's still a healthy amount.
It wasn't like every other word.
Man, a man can't show his emotions. Man, fuck you. That makes me laugh.
Yeah, that honest, like I said, the show really got better as it's gone on. And again, even though we're not at the end of the first season, I think it's really become a show that you and I enjoy a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, we reference a lot of stuff from it. I love the way they portray Ivy in this.
Yeah. Oh no, Ivy is like Poison Ivy is like one of the best things because like I do not care for a Poison Ivy that like literally like hates men. Like what?
Also, you're sexist.
No, like I don't care for like the like her whole thing is just I hate men. Her thing should be
there's more to it.
Like, yeah, there's more to it than that. She's not as shallow as like I like the eco-terrorist Ivy over the generic villainous
where there's basically more meat on the bone to the character.
Especially when she's arguably like one of Batman's most powerful foes.
Yeah.
Which says a lot about like the rogues gallery she has or he has, but like this Ivy, in my opinion, you really need her because like everyone else in Harley's crew is so over the top.
King Shark.
Like, oh my god, King Shark was also one of the things that won us over, but like for me it was her dry sense of humor and the fact that like she loves Harley, but she doesn't put up with her shit. Like when Harley's doing something stupid, she tries to tell Harley like don't do something. Unfortunately, Harley does it anyways, but like to be fair, that's kind of
Harley's shtick.
In fact, to me, the problems I had with Birds of Prey are kind of reversed in this. Because for me, it felt like it was just trying to be Deadpool 2 Birds of Prey. In my opinion, this is what I would want from a Deadpool TV show, except with a little bit more breaking of the fourth wall. Which there is no fourth wall breaking in this cartoon, at least none that I can remember. But I like the idea of like, if you're going to make a Deadpool cartoon, it should be kind of like this, where you know it's Deadpool and like X-Force basically, or like his version of X-Force, where they're like trying to do kind of the opposite of what Harley's doing here, but like you have Harley and you have her crew and like you have Ivy, who is very much like just the one that bounces off of Harley really well. But like, not only do I really like the humor in this, I really, really love the fact that they really go out of their way to use a lot of really obscure DC stuff. Kind of like what I like about Deadpool, because like Deadpool will often come across like the most like obscure things that has been in Marvel's history. Yeah. Like there's an issue of Deadpool where he runs into US1. Do you know who US1 is?
No.
US1 was a line of stock racing cars, particularly semis. And like it was about like this dude who got in a trucking accident and like got like a steel plate put in his head that lets him hear CB radio.
What the
and he builds like the
Batmobile.
He builds the Batmobile of semis and fights a dude called the Highwayman who has like a robotic whip that allows him to take control of like vehicles.
Yo, can we get a Marvel movie of this? I want this in the MCU ASAP.
I'll have to show you the episodes of Atop the Fourth Wall that had US1 because it is a thing that needs to be seen. But like they reference like Tommy Tomorrow, the Queen of Fables. I didn't even know who the Queen of Fables was. I had to Google that.
When that came up, I looked at him and I'm like, "Is this real?" And he's like, let me look it up." And he's
because the thing about like Cohen will tell me something about some character and I will know like 9 times out of 10 I know like obscure like
even with me I know a lot of Golden Age stuff because I did research on it for grad school.
I kind of hope we get to see the Atomic Knights show up in this. Have you ever heard of the Atomic Knights? Oh my god, I love the Atomic Knights because they're just a bunch of dudes in magic laser-proof knight armor from like the Middle Ages that got like like irradiated by radiation.
I want Richard Pryor's character from Superman 3 to show up.
I want that dude from Saturday Night Live who played Ant-Man in that one sketch to show up.
But yeah. So anyway, as I said, the show I feel like the show really hit its humor really well after the pilot, especially the deeper into the season as it went on.
Particularly
got so much better.
Particularly after the episode where Harley starts getting her crew, I think is where the show really,
like King Shark. I was like, who the hell is this? I've never heard of this character. And then the minute he's on screen, he is like the most adorable motherfucker I've ever seen.
To be fair, this King Shark is a lot different from comic book King Shark, who like just murders people. He's basically Killer Croc.
He's a tech guy.
In this, he's their tech guy. Did you just make a shark joke? Because if so, it's very funny.
There's an episode where basically he gets
sent to Blackgate.
Yeah, he gets into Blackgate. He's like automatically running it, and someone's like, "Oh, we got fresh fish in here tonight." Boys. Now, boys, I know you all are trying. What did I tell you about saying that damn word?
Sorry, King Shark. Sorry,
he just loses it. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen in the whole show. It is the funniest moment by far. I think that was what we referenced for like a week afterwards with just anything.
I was really excited the fact that one of her crew member was Basil Carlo, aka Clayface. Because I love Clayface. Clayface is one of my favorite.
He's got to put that actor spin on everything.
I love him to death. I will be a topiary man, and I will slowly prune them back to death. or when they go to...
What was the one we watched today? Where I will slowly trim them to death. It'll take a couple years,
but I'll do it. No, one of my favorites is he pretends to be Maxie Zeus's son so they could break into his place to steal his like Olympic...
Oh my God, Zeus played along with it for so long, and that was the best part. He like played along with it.
Yeah, he kept bringing up all these different things, like the kid had like a lisp and a hunchback. And he just keeps shifting. Poor Clayface on that. Or all the times Clayface looks like he's gonna die, but then they forget that he's basically
son of Clayface.
Oh yeah, and then one of his hands gets cut off and becomes its own thing.
And it talks Gordon out of being drunk. It's like there's as you can't tell, there's a lot of dark humor in it, but there's also a lot of references to other DC stuff. And I think that really is part of the charm of it, is that it's got black humor in it, but it's not over the top. It's really like Deadpool a lot.
It's kind of like Harley herself, where it's dark and kind of morose, but at the same time, it's bombastic and in your face and kind of like lollipop candy kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because like in my opinion, the best way to use Harley is to kind of hit this, like, she's dark and disturbing, but at the same time, she is so upbeat and fun. You can't help but kind of like her, just because like that's one of the things I think that has let Harley, that has let Harley kind of survive through the air. Because remember, she was a character created for Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah,
and
then made her debut in the comics afterwards because she got so popular.
Yeah, she got so popular. But like, so I think probably to kind of give an idea of what exactly the show is about. Because for one thing, the show is very. If you're going into this expecting it to be like kind of like very like these characters are who you, they're really not. In my opinion, the whole show is basically the way the world looks to Harley.
Again, we kind of go back to what I mentioned during Birds of Prey and the Joker reviews. That it's really an unreliable narrator. But in this is a case of it working very well.
Yeah.
Because unless you're really like trying to deconstruct it like via Alan Moore style, you're not gonna really pick up on that.
Yeah. Like for instance, Batman, who's voiced by the dude who did the Batman Brave and the Bold cartoon, is very like, he's very gruff and stern and basically just
he fucks bats.
His buttocks is constantly clenched and he's just constantly serious.
Gordon is like a drunk. And he's always wanting to like do like just.
Yeah, like
flip out or like
one of the first
tanks
like
and stuff.
Like the first episode we see him, he's literally just clicking the bat signal on and off, on, off. Jim, I wasn't playing with it.
Yeah, it's just really random.
Yeah, no, Gordon is so weird in this cartoon.
And then
you have Damian, who's honestly probably the most like he's supposed to be. The episode where he basically becomes Harley's nemesis is amazing, especially the ending. Where Damian's kind of annoyed that his first nemesis didn't work out. I love it because Batman's like, he brings him a grilled cheese with the Robin insignia on. He's like, I made this for you. You had Alfred make that.
I made him make it.
I'm like, that's so not like how Batman is, but at the same time, yeah. But like it very much is like a cracked mirror version of the DC universe, and I kind of happy with it because like everyone's like that. It's not like Birds of Prey where you're not entirely sure how much of this Harley is pulling out of her ass and how much of it's like
the truth.
The truth.
Kind of the same with the Joker movie.
Yeah. Although to be fair, the thing with the Joker movie is it's so cerebral. I kind of didn't like.
I don't know. I still don't know what's real in that movie and what's not.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I was gonna say. Like, I think that was the point. But like with Birds of Prey, it's they were trying to do what Deadpool does, but not very well. And to be fair, like I know like it's a subjective thing, but honestly, I really do feel like this cartoon does it a lot better. In a lot of ways, it reminds me of the Venture Brothers. Like, well, especially the main plot of the season.
Doug told me some of the writers from Venture Brothers, they actually work on that.
That explains a lot.
Sure. They work on that.
Because okay, so
it's a lot of the same sense of humor.
So I guess kind of like digest, like, because we're not going to go into a full plot synopsis since A, the season's not done, and B, watch the show.
Yeah, really, if you don't have DC Universe, get it on Fire Stick.
Yeah, but basically,
there's ways to get it, and again, I really recommend it. Because I like it, you like it. We wouldn't have binged almost all of it in a week and a half.
I know.
There were a couple days we were averaging 2 episodes a day.
So the basic plot is, after a really rough breakup with the Joker, Harley decides to prove that she's the new queenpin of crime in Gotham. She wants to become the clown princess of crime, basically. You know, to get back at Joker and to prove that she is her own woman. And to do that, she wants to join the Legion of Doom, because all the big villains are in the Legion of Doom in the DC universe. Debatable, but for the sake of the plot, yes. And so she basically, the whole first season is her trying to like do bigger and badder heists, including getting herself a team which consists of her, Dr. Psycho, a Wonder Woman villain who I honestly didn't really know much about. I knew who he was, but I didn't know like his shtick.
Yeah.
Who gets kicked out of the Legion because he calls Wonder Woman the C word.
Which is like the only word they blank out in the whole show, which is funny as hell.
Which is kind of hilarious because I would love to see a UK, because like in the UK saying that word is not like, honestly,
it's not nearly as vindictive.
Honestly, you get in more trouble saying the word fanny than you would the C word.
Great, now we're banned in England. Congrats.
Oh, whatever. We still have the European Union. After all, they said Brexit, stage left.
I'm living in the 80s.
All right. But, Clayface, a.k.a. Basil Karlo, the first Clayface. Another, because I think a lot of people were confused because, like, if you're a Batman the Animated Series fan, they use Matt Hagen, who's the second Clayface. But then, like,
he has the backstory of Karloff.
Kind of.
They're kind
of the same character. Like, because Karlo's more the Golden Age Clayface. Because originally Hagen was supposed to be the only Clayface, but then they were like, no, let's have all the Clayfaces. And to be fair, there's like 2 other Clayfaces. There's like a dude who has to live in a suit, and Lady Clayface, and Lady Clayface and the third Clayface have a kid together, and that's son of Clayface, who's there's a lot of Clayfaces. Is what I'm saying, but. And of course, who later brings in King Shark because they need a tech guy.
And King Shark is very tech savvy.
They're also joined by
these little glasses.
Oh yeah, the little tiny. Like King Shark is adorable, but
I want a plushie of King Shark. DC, make it happen.
Yeah. Basically, Ivy is there in case they need metahuman assistance. Basically, because her plan ability.
I'm not really a villainous. I'm more of an eco-terrorist.
And then they're occasionally assisted by Poison Ivy's landlord, Cyborg. A character who I didn't know is actually a real thing until after I picked up the Birds of Prey Harley Quinn trade paperback that actually explained that he was introduced in the New 52. Who's basically a former CIA agent turned with cybernetic enhancements. Who's like in his 60s. Who basically wants to join in with them on capers because he kind of misses being like a spy. Which he did after he almost burned them all alive because he thought they were dead after they had to go into Harley's mind using Psycho's abilities.
I don't know if you saw anything about this. Did you know that that's somewhat of an anti-Semitic thing? somewhat because, like, I guess, like, because I remember that you and I both kind of took issue. They made a Jewish lightning reference, which I'm like, okay, that's kind of pushing it. I mean, I get the whole point of the show is to be kind of outlandish and stuff, but I'm like, okay, now we're diving into some territory that's a little over the edge.
It's hard to say with Sai because, like, on the one hand, he himself is Jewish, I guess.
That's what I'm getting into as well.
Yeah,
is that the trying to burn the bodies, that's very against Jewish faith.
And also it kind of has some unfortunate implications if you know your history.
That's a little bit of the sketching.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen them do that since in the show.
Yeah, no,
so
like
I think they got enough backlash from it that they're like, okay, we fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things like I kind of didn't I kind of forgot about it until you brought it up, but
I had forgotten about it until somebody in my RP Discord brought it up to me.
Yeah,
as soon as they mentioned it, I was like, ew, yeah, that definitely is on the uncool side.
Because for reference, in the comic, he doesn't do anything like that. He's just a spy that like hires Harley to help him basically pull off one more job where he kills like a bunch of Russian communists that like.
Oh man, we could have got KG Beast.
Well, we did get KG Beast.
KG Beast is in it. I remember
he's a bodyguard for a Russian train carrying like a nuclear reactor. Oh yeah, I can only say that and where's the yogurt or something like that. I forget what she said, but it was.
Yeah, but again, that kind of goes back to they use a lot of obscure DC characters. Like KG Beast is in it.
Yeah.
How much stuff recently has used KG Beast?
I can't really think of anything because I don't even think Gotham used that. Used KG Beast, and they did an episode with Azrael.
Well, let's talk about what I think is arguably probably one of our favorite bits from the show is that they take Bane.
Oh my God!
And he looks like comic book Bane. Like, you know, he's got the outfit and everything. He looks like comic book Bane. He talks like Dark Knight Rises Bane.
Oh my God!
And it's amazingly funny.
Like I actually had a friend was like, "You like this Bane with that voice?" I'm like, "Well, he looks like Bane
because they're playing it for comedic effect. Well, they know how everybody thinks that voice is stupid.
Clearly, someone hates the Dark Knight Rises as much as I do on that in that writing thing because. Like the first episode we meet him, he's at a bar doing like a TGI Friday sports trivia thing.
I think the first time we heard him, I looked at you, I was like, oh no, it's Dark Knight Rises Bane.
But I loved him because like he's trying to like who's won the most. What
team has beaten Gotham's home team at the most at Gotham Stadium? I know. I think he said the Dolphins.
Yeah, the Miami Dolphins.
Ooh, sorry. The answer is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to blow up Gotham Stadium.
Which is clearly a reference to Dark Knight.
Because for those who don't know,
the
scene in Dark Knight Rises where Bane hits the detonation on the football field, that was filmed in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that was Hines Ward.
That was filmed in Pittsburgh.
In fact,
we're from PA.
Yeah,
so
in fact, most of Dark Knight
reference was funny to
most
us.
of Dark Knight Rises was filmed in Pittsburgh too. Which was
I know
cool.
people. I know people that went down there and were extras for that movie.
Yeah.
But so that reference to us was especially funny because we're like, that's great.
Little shout out to PA right there.
But again, the fact that they play Bane off to a really comedic effect. On one hand, I'm a little annoyed because Bane is like this really like probably one of the most dangerous foes of Batman.
I'd argue so.
But in this, they play him just so comedic effect.
Yeah, no,
it's really funny.
I'm gonna be this credit card's reckoning. Here I go with these slightly dull scissors. Oh
my God, yeah. There's this great episode where basically it's the same episode where it kind of comes back later. Basically, the episode where Harley goes and meets Bane, she goes to this bar mitzvah for the Penguin's son.
Oh my no, a nephew actually.
Oh, the nephew, yeah. And so this is like right after when Harley's trying to assemble her crew, basically, and she really embarrasses the shit out of the nephew.
Yeah, because he got cool points by saying he finger blasted a chick during like summer camp.
Which I'm like,
wow. For the record, this kid is 13.
Can that be any more stereotypical as well? That's like some American Pie level stuff.
I like every time they brought up the finger blasting, I was like, could we not?
Could we not? But so like basically the bar mitzvah thing, it was gonna be that the nephew was gonna break into this vault.
Yeah.
But Harley went and just destroyed everything to get into it because she thought it was real money.
Yeah.
And then it basically came out. The Penguin's like, okay, cool. So you're gonna kill Harley now. That's gonna be how you're gonna become a man. And she embarrasses the shit out of him in front of everybody.
And basically makes it so that he can't go through with killing her.
Yeah. Well, later it comes out that somebody's put a price on Harley's head, and here it's him.
Yeah.
And he's maxed out the Legion of Doom's credit card. And so Bane basically gets these scissors, and he's like, I'm gonna have to cut the credit card up
with these dull scissors. And then he starts bending it.
This credit card's reckoning. Well, the best part is like he feels bad. He's like, I'm sorry, it wasn't very mature of me. And he's just like, oh, the road to maturity is a long one. And he trips over a fucking chair, and he just gets up and he's like, I hate this chair. He picks it up and throws it.
I was really hoping he was gonna do like the whole thing where he just picks it up and brings it over.
If he had done that, I would have had to pause it because I would have been dead.
You and I would have been like,
I would have been on the ground like dying.
But yeah, so like basically that's pretty much the first season of the show is her trying to get into the Legion and eventually getting in.
Trying to get into the Legion of Doom. You know, she gets a crew together and she gets in, but there's some complications that come with it.
Yeah, particularly the fact that the spoilers, but basically they don't.
If you're watching this video, you should already know spoilers.
Basically, they don't want.
We just spoiled a good part of the episode.
Yeah, they don't want Harley. They want Ivy because
metahuman,
and her ability to control plants is pretty powerful. And so basically, Harley is just there so that they can try to get Ivy, which also upsets her ex, the Joker, because he doesn't like the fact that she's getting all this attention. Because if there's any attention whore in Gotham, it's me, the Joker.
We do a roundtable thing like it's Pixar. I want another movie.
God, Bane is so funny in this show, but
I love the one. It's the episode where they induct Harley into the Legion of Doom, basically, and they have Bane up there, and he's like, "I'm sorry, we're not going to do magic tricks," and Bane's got the magician's hat on, and he's like, "Oh." He goes up to Harley later, and he's like, "Pick a card. Is your card the 3 of hearts? No. Fuck."
he just throws the cards in the hat. He just
says fuck, and it's so damn funny.
But like, yeah, and so like the last part of the season is more or less there's some big scheme going on with the Legion of Doom, which
involves Ivy.
And since we haven't completely finished it, we won't go into too much detail.
At the time of this filming, we have 4 days until the last episode of season 1 airs, and it has already been confirmed for season 2. The writers have already confirmed that, so I'm very curious to see where they're going to go from this, because I've really enjoyed it, and I think I'm really hoping it's going to be one of those shows where it gets better as it goes on.
I do as well, because like
it's already gotten a lot better in one season, so I'm really interested to see if they keep that trend going and get even better.
So real quick, do you want to just talk about a couple of the things we think they do right, and then we'll talk about a couple things they did wrong?
Okay. I'll go first, I guess. Yeah. With things they do right, I really think, again, the comedy is really good. I mean, the stuff in the palette's pretty good, but it's a little dark. It gets better as it goes on. Like, they really nail the cues for stuff. Yeah. Especially with Ivy. Ivy's sense of humor is just downright hysterical. Like, for example, excuse me. She has this talking plant named Frank.
Yeah, Frank.
Yeah, it's Frank. And basically,
I'm surprised it's not like Audrey 7.
Yeah, but basically, and Frank talks, you know, and there's this episode where
because again he looks like Audrey 2 from Pet Shop Horrors.
Yeah, and he'll just talk and he'll interject and stuff. Like there's one where Ivy is clearly lying about something, and he's just like, "You lying motherfucker." There's another part where like he's upset about something, and he's like, "Man, a man can't get emotional."
And Ivy's like, "Man,
fuck you, Ivy."
There's one where like
you're a plant, you can't move. I got my plant dealer.
Yeah,
that's a drug dealer. He misread his ad.
He sells pot.
Why are we doing it in Mexico?
One lick, you see God the second you pass out with a raging heart.
Don't be passing out, drive this car. It's so damn funny.
We're in Mexico.
I want more. I want more of him in the next season. I really want more because he's funny as hell.
We're supposed to be in Brooklyn. Brooklyn's right next door to Mexico.
What?
Because weed is legal everywhere now, so we had to go steal hallucinogenic honey.
That's so stupid. Yeah, I think they really nail the humor really well. One thing I think they also do really well is they bring obscure characters and obscure things into it. And
particularly the Queen of Fables, because she's like a big part of this.
To kind of go along with it as well, I really like the references they do to everything. Like they interject little references here and there to stuff that I think really like makes the world feel alive.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's been times you and I have looked in the background, like, okay, where are the Easter eggs at?
Yeah.
You know, like when they go to the Legion,
Legion
of Doom, we were pointing out, okay, there's Black Adam, there's Manta, you know, everybody's here.
I'm going to a clam bake at Black Manta's. He's doing a whole ham hock. I'm like, or no, he's going to a luau.
He's going to a luau, and Harley didn't get the email.
Oh, I guess you didn't get the email. Maybe it's
check your spam.
Junk folders.
Yeah, that to me, I think really makes the world feel vibrant and alive. Is that they have all these references to stuff that, again, if you're a DC guy, you would know this stuff, like the Dark Knight Rises references, the references to like New 52 stuff.
Yeah.
The interject. I'm really waiting for a Batman and Robin reference. You know what I mean? I'm really waiting for that with Ivy.
Yeah. I really like a lot. I actually also have to admit, I think for being like a budgeted like streaming cartoon, I think the animation looks really nice, because sometimes like those streaming cartoons can be a little bit,
you can tell they kind of cut corners,
but like here
reuse stuff to kind of save money.
Here I don't think they do that as much. I honestly think like whoever like does like the DC animated stuff is like really got like, it really looks good. Like it doesn't look cheap. I've never felt like when we were watching it looked cheap in any way. Everything's really vibrant and has, in my opinion, I think the really colorful Gotham we get works for this Gotham just because of the fact that it's Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
You know, if this were a Batman centric show, I'd be like, that's a little too colorful. Like, it's a little.
We're in 60s Batman.
Yeah, like that's a little much. I mean, granted, Brave and the Bold I thought did that really well, but then again, I was that person that when Brave and the Bold came out, I was like, no, this is too silly. I'm 18. I don't need to watch this.
I need serious Batman.
Yeah, which I kind of regret it, because like that was probably the best Blue Beetle show we ever got and probably will ever get. But and like you said, I was really blown away by some of the obscure references they made, like particularly the subplot that revolves around the Queen of Fables. This very obscure DC villainess who fought the Justice League. Basically, her power is she can bring fairy tales characters to life to use as like her henchmen and such. Like, you know, like she can summon
they summon the 3 little pigs to clean this shit up.
That's right. Don't forget to eat the bones. Like she was amazing, and I actually kind of forgotten about her by the end of this story, and then they brought her back, and I was like, oh, I didn't expect you to come back. I'd also argue probably the really best thing about this is it explores Harley in a way that really like works for me. Like, I like the fact that they have her have like this split personality that like shows up when she's upset, known as Harleen. Basically,
it really reminds me of how they do it in the Arkham Knight DLCs.
Yeah, like where Harleen is basically what's left of her sanity, trying to keep her from going further down.
For those who don't know, because I know a lot of people were turned off to Arkham Knight via the tank combat.
Yeah.
There's a great DLC for Arkham Knight called Harley.
Harley's Revenge or Harley's Rampage or something like that.
Something like that. I think Revenge was for Arkham City.
Yeah.
But
it's
basically, as anybody who's played Arkham knows, when you enter detective mode, you know, it changes how everything looks. With Harley's,
she has what's known as psycho
mode. It adds writing all over the walls, and like Harleen talks to her.
Yeah.
Like it's really, the first time I played it, like I clicked it on, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because I was in a ventilation system.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, where are these guards? As I flip it on, I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, what is this?
But like,
it scared the living shit out of me.
Because like, it's kind of funny. Like, I actually argue the show's more about her and her crew than it is really more about Harley herself. But like,
they really divide the attention to everything. And I think that's really a strength, is that really, I think, makes the show really great, is that it focuses on everybody.
Yeah.
It's not just like, well, this is a Harley Quinn show, so we're just going to focus on Harley. Because while she is the protagonist of it, there's all these other characters that have other stuff going on. Like as much as you and I hate it, the Kite Man and Ivy subplot.
We'll get to our problems with the Kite Man thing.
The Psycho thing with the C word that's popped up numerous times.
I also have to give credit. Like, I thought Dr. Psycho was going to be insufferable, just because his whole thing is he called a woman the C word.
Got thrown out of Legion of Doom.
And I thought he was going to be like this asshole that we're gonna be stuck with. But
he kind of is still an asshole.
He still is an asshole, but like
he's a likable asshole.
I don't despise him. Like
he's a likable asshole.
Like I argue he's kind of what I had hoped like Stewie would have went in Family Guy instead of just being like to the point where
the goose.
Yeah, no, he's kind of the good writing that like he works like he's a dick, but like he's not insufferable. Like
you don't hate every time he's on screen.
Like I actually kind of like him and Ivy kind of both provide like the dry humor, like especially because like he does not put up with Clayface's shit.
Oh my god, no! I love the episode where they're in Ivy's mind.
Oh yeah, because they had to go
to bulldozer, and so Psycho like uses his powers to throw Clayface into it, which obviously because Clayface can't die from that, it makes the thing shut down. Yeah. And he comes out and he's like, "Great show, knowing it wouldn't kill me, but it would destroy the bulldozer." And he's like. Yeah, that was the thing I knew. That was the thing I knew.
That was the thing I knew. like, god damn.
Or the part where, like, right before they go into Ivy's brain, why the hell did you punch her? Well, you have to be knocked out of this. No, you don't. You just punched your best friend in the face.
The only reason we did it last time was because you were already unconscious. Actually, that episode was one of my favorites where they go into Harley's mind.
Well, that was the one with Ivy.
Well, both are really good.
Yeah,
but
both are really good.
Because it did in a way that like you learn about the character, but it's not like it's not
like Nolan. Like let's go this way.
It's you see these characters' fears represented. You see moments in their lives represented by pictures and such.
I really liked how he explained it. It actually really welly explained. Yeah, welly. There's a new word for you, welly. Yeah. In a very great way via writing, it showed really well how trauma works. Yeah. Like the episode where they go into Harley's mind, it shows the origin, like how she became like she is, which is Joker, bad acid.
Well, the new 52 origin for her.
The way Harley initially remembers it is that she was pushed.
Yeah.
But when they look at the memory in her head, there's like a tape disruption, like right in the middle of it.
Yeah, like her mind is blocking out. Like it's basically she jumped in.
Yeah.
Like she was not pushed. She wanted to be.
But at the same time, she wanted to believe that
like it wasn't her fault.
Yeah.
And basically Ivy or Harley makes that says like I chose to be with the Joker, like but like he wasn't all. It's all. Everything that's wrong in her life isn't just the Joker's fault, basically, is what she learns there.
Yeah.
Which I actually really like, because I do feel like sometimes to get a lot of sympathy for her, they try to make everything the Joker's fault that she does wrong. And for me, I prefer more, like, Harley has done horrible things.
You're still in control of your actions.
Like, well, to be fair, like, I think it works especially because of the fact that she's, an abuse victim. That sometimes, like, you can even, like, make it that, like, because of your trauma, sometimes your mind shapes it that like every bad thing that happened in your life is because of one person.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to separate yourself from like your trauma a little bit to realize, sometimes my trauma made me do things.
Well, again, I feel like that's one thing that episode did really well is it showed that about how people that have never gone through trauma can look at someone that's gone through it and been like,
you're like this because of your trauma.
Yeah, you're like this because of your trauma, or even like you don't want to deal with it, basically. Yeah. And it shows from Harley's POV that it's like up until the point when that's a realization in there that the person doesn't recognize that or doesn't know, and it's not their fault. That's the result of the brain trying to protect itself.
Yeah,
I feel like that did it really well, and I don't think that got enough praise.
No,
for how it did it.
It really handles the fact that yes, Harley has gone through some bad things, but you have to still remember she did willingly choose to become a villain, and they're both like, I'm not saying that everything, like, because there probably was a lot of horrible things that happened to her because of the Joker, but like at the end of the day, we can still make the choice to be better than what the trauma makes us, or that. Sometimes trauma shapes, but it doesn't have to always define you. Which I think has always been a thing that, and for me, that is a message in Batman, like Batman stories in general. Because, like Batman himself even states sometimes, yes, trauma made me who I am, but I want to be more than my trauma. Batman isn't just me playing out a way to make myself feel better after my parents' death. It's because I don't want someone else to feel like I did, to have to do what I do. to dress up as some creature of the night and fight a war on crime that will go on forever, sort of thing.
Well, again, they kind of really address that in Batman Forever.
Yeah,
really well.
But like, I'm not Batman because I have to be, but because I choose to be. And I think sometimes like in one of like I think that this does better than say Tom King's stories that he talks about trauma. It's like you don't need trauma. Trauma is a reason why we do things, but it doesn't necessarily have to be who we are. And I think that was kind of what I was getting at. It was hard for me to really emphasize, but because Harley, I think up until that episode has basically just been everything. Like, I'm trying to make myself better, but like I still have all this, the pain that this asshole put me through. And even then later on, I like that she isn't completely better. Just because she left the Joker, put herself in a fancy outfit and has been working stuff out, she still falls back into the Joker because the Joker uses one of the most manipulative things an abuser can do, which is to make it seem like, I want you back, basically, and that I've
changed.
Yeah, and he doesn't, of course, because he does the same thing he did to her in the first episode. He used her as.
But the end result of that is that her crew leaves. Ivy feels very betrayed. Ivy actually gets kidnapped as a result of it.
Yeah.
I feel like that, but again, I feel like it shows, the next episode shows that you can move on from that. You know what I mean? You don't have to be what the trauma did, basically.
I also really like that they actually explored her family life. Because Harley has brought up her family in a few different versions of her origin, but they're very kind of differentiates between who the writer, aka basically.
It's one of those things that doesn't really have a good sense of continuity to it.
Yeah. And I actually found that episode even funnier because it was basically Harley was Christina Applegate from Married with Children, and her parents were Al and what's the mother's name?
I've never watched it.
I want to say it's Peggy.
Yeah, I think it's Peggy.
Peggy Bundy. Basically, it's the Bundys, except that her father is basically an Italian mobster.
Oh yeah, the brother's dead and he's in a jar.
Yeah, and then Grandma gets assassinated, so they put her in a jar.
That scene, I'm sorry, that scene was horrifying and funny as hell all at the same time.
Well, because she's like, I've got a brain tumor, and then
I don't know how much longer I've got left.
And then she,
bam! I'm like,
her dad's like, God. Whoa, that was some tumor. That was dark and horrifying, but just the reaction, I was like,
God damn.
That episode was really good too because it shows that it also kind of shows that Harley probably got her mother's taste in men.
Yeah.
Because her father's also just
horrible.
A despicable asshole. He made her lose her this big gymnast thing, which I actually like. Is a lot of times
because he had money riding on.
Well, yeah, well, because a lot of people forget that Harley is actually an Olympic level gymnast, or she's close to being an Olympic level gymnast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and basically she makes her take a dive, which arguably is kind of what sets off her life. After that she tries to become a psychologist, and then she goes to Arkham, and the rest, as they say, is history. And then her dad tries to kind of appear like he cares and changed, and then he turns out to be one of the people going after the bounty on her head. Basically, he wanted her to kill off the mobsters he owed money to, and then he was going to kill her. Well,
it's even revealed that he was the one that kept sending tips to the assassins for a finder's fee.
Yeah, which actually is a reference to the New 52, actually, where Harley, although in that story, Harley, in her sleep, puts a bounty on her own head.
Comic books.
Yeah. It's here I actually like it a lot more because, again, it ties into the actual plot. But, and she realized, because basically after her crew left and she has nobody, well, except for Sai, she basically goes home because, she's got nowhere else to go. And then she remembers why she didn't go back, because her parents are, well, her dad mostly, but her mom's kind of awful too, because basically she tries to, you went with that Gentile clown in Gotham.
I wanted you to, what every woman wants, to marry a doctor. I became a doctor.
Yeah. But yeah, I think really It's super funny, especially that one thing we kept arguing when they show during the Robin episode where like everyone's watching it play out on TV and we see like Wonder Woman eating cereal.
Oh
and
my
she's
god,
got the milk mustache.
That was funny. I wanted to think of those.
And then we see Aquaman taking a shit.
Oh yeah, this was a thing for a week.
Yeah.
I joke you not. We debated how is Aquaman taking a dump in this?
Underwater.
Like how does that work?
Yeah,
Is it reversed? Is there like no water in the toilet? Like this was a debate between us for a week straight.
Well, because like
I think everybody was tired of us arguing about it.
Because I'm like, okay, so maybe it's like it's still bothers me. So like, how is he like?
What are the physics?
What are the physics? Like, that's like that one Justice League action show thing where Lobo's got a bounty on the Flash, and they do that Roadrunner thing where like the Flash is on like a piece of rock that like doesn't break and like stays in the air, and Lobo's falling. He's like, this defies the laws of physics. Never mind that Lobo is a dude who once smoked a cigar in the vacuum of space.
Hashtag comic books.
Well, then because hashtag Lobo, but so yeah, like as you can tell, him and I this show hit our funny bones in all the right places. Although it does have flaw.
It can be serious and but it can be funny.
Which I think is actually kind of why I like it so much. Again, it's like the Venture Brothers, where there's a level of seriousness to it.
I'm waiting on Ivy and Harley to have our Smurfs mammals argument. The Venture Brothers. They don't lay eggs.
We've been over this.
Oh my god! I'm not gonna tell you this again. Yo, Papa Smurf has a fucking beard. They're mammals.
Oh god, we're gonna get our asses kicked. We didn't eat a good breakfast.
Again, it's the same kind of humor, and I think that's really what makes it hilarious.
Well, it's especially true because like this whole series is around the fact that like the Legion of Doom is like this awesome thing where like the villains have like all these rules and regulations. I
signed out all the paperwork and got it done by HR.
We're gonna blow up Todd. The streets are gonna run red with Razzie Zazzy. Todd, you know me. I come here every day. Yeah, whatever. Bang.
Damn millennials. So to kind of roll on with, what are some things you think the show does negatively or does bad?
One thing you've nailed on the head. The Kite Man shit. Like, I fucking hate Kite Man. Not just the fact that he's dating Ivy. They're doing the stupid Kite Man Hell Yeah meme all the time, which, as someone who read the Kite Man Hell Yeah meme as it was coming out like 2 years ago, during the War for Jokes and Riddles, I didn't find it good there. Like, it literally is the dumbest thing. Like, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't have minded if Kite Man had been in this show, because, like, he's a lame Batman villain, you know.
You think I'm lame? I mean, don't you?
He is! I don't care if you think you did a funny meme with him. He's still a dude whose power is I have a giant kite on my back.
And I, for one, as someone who ships Harley and Ivy, I'm not a fan of Ivy and Kite Man being a thing. Well, again, I didn't like Kite Man prior to this, so I find him really fucking annoying. So when this happened, I was like, man, I wish we could get the meme put up like right in the center of the corner with Johnny Depp. Like, stop putting holes in my ship.
Not only that, like I'm sorry, Ivy deserves a little bit better if you're gonna ship him with her with a man, especially because it's Kite Man. Like,
oh yeah.
Oh my god!
They did that in that episode today too, and I was like, "Oh no, please stop!"
No, like that was the like. And again, the meme is old. Like it didn't have any
stale, man. Get some new material.
It doesn't even have any staying power. It's literally just Kite Man going, "Kite Man, hell yeah!" There's nothing to it.
I mean, I get why it's funny, but it's still fucking stupid.
Because I'm Kite Man, hell yeah! Like, God no, I can't like. It's not like the Bane thing, because at least with Bane, he's...
New meme. Batmite, I'm here to fuck your girl. That would be a fucking funny meme.
Like, I
would pay for someone to make a Batmite meme. Please do this.
It just doesn't do anything for me. It
really doesn't. I feel like to me, it feels really forced.
Well, yeah, especially because, like, literally the joke is Ivy's embarrassed to be dating Kite Man.
Because he's lame.
And that's pretty much it.
There's no other, there's no kind of like grand kick or twist. Yeah. That's literally it. And
like the coolest,
it was funny when it first happened, and then as it became a thing, I was like, Can we not? Can we do something else?
Like, and fair enough if you think like it's just bothers because we don't like the fact that he's shipped with Ivy. Fair enough, but like
I've always shipped Harley and Ivy together, like, so I was already kind of biased, I guess.
Like, as someone who I'm like, well, that kind of sucks, but for me, it was just every time he showed up,
he was just being dumb.
Like, he's just a typical broski. Like, there's nothing really funny about him. He's not like...
Can we get him running in and be like, it's just a prank, bro. It's just a prank.
Like, you know, like, he tries to take Ivy to, like, a high-end restaurant. They won't let him in because he doesn't have a reservation.
Because he's fucking Kite Man.
Because he's Kite Man.
So the Riddler comes in. He's like, oh, yes, right this way. We'll get you in.
I know, and they try to play like Riddler's lamer than Kite. No, he's not. He's one of Batman's best rogues.
I'll take Riddler over Kite Man any damn day of the week.
I would take Captain Boomerang over Kite Man.
I'll take Polka Dot Man.
Captain Boomerang.
Polka Dot Man. I rest my case. I'll take fucking Polka Dot Man. Look this shit up. This is real. I'll take him over this fucking idiot.
And like I said, that's really my biggest complaint. Is like I love everything else they do in the show, but like literally they have Kite Man in there because they're like, well, he's really popular.
He's comedic relief.
He's comedic relief, and he's really popular with this meme. And I'm like,
not really.
Is he though?
I can't tell you the last time I saw that meme. And I'm in so many damn groups on Facebook and Tumblr combined that I'm like, I have never seen this meme pop up on its own.
Like, for me, like, it was funny because it was kind of like All-Star Batman and Robin with the goddamn Batman, or the fact that like he kept every time Dick Grayson had been mentioned, they had to
Bat shark repellent. That's the meme. That's the A-class meme. Which they showed
the Bat shark repellent
when that showed up.
Oh my god!
I'm like, pause it, I'm dying, I can't breathe.
Oh, that was amazing. But yeah, like that for me is one of the weakest things about this show. Is like I props for DC to like try to be try to be relevant, but he really weren't because like.
But again, if those are the only, because my only negative was again the anti-Semitic jokes, but they haven't really done that again.
Yeah, and
as long as they keep that out, because that's not funny. Like it's
well, and to be fair,
I'm not Jewish myself, but I was like, okay, that's really honestly offensive. And
well, then to be fair, I don't know how much I argue they did it on purpose. I think the joke was just these two old people had to hide these bodies. They were gonna like
but I feel like they should have gotten ran by somebody, and somebody should have been like
I agree. I just
but again, that's only happened once. And I can't think of another instance where that kind of topic is popped up.
That's why I think like they only did it once, because like I think they I don't think they got the ramifications.
Something that slipped.
That slipped, like because when I saw it, I was just like, oh, okay, like they like it was weird and out of place, but at the same time, I was like, I kind of get it. Like they're gonna.
You got the reference.
Yeah, but then I was like, and then after I thought about it, I was like, ooh, that's.
Hands off.
Yeah, yeah, that sort of thing.
Can't believe it. I'm living the rock.
Tug at the collar, wipe the brow. All right. I honestly, I think the only other thing I could say I find, I kind of don't think I like the fact that like every member of the Gotham Rogues Gallery is like super afraid of the Joker.
Yeah, like, especially Bane. Like Bane could rip him in half. Real easy.
Because like I know that there are DC stories where like the rogues are like, we don't mess with the Joker because
fuck with the clown,
because it's just not a good idea too. But there are plenty of times where the other rogues will be like, you're a clown. Like Scarecrow would be like, I make toxin. I'm the god of fear. Like I make toxins and I'm scary. You're just some asshole in a purple suit.
Side note, I love the one episode where Scarecrow brings that thing out. They use it on Ivy, and she's like, oh no, fear toxin. Didn't see that coming.
Oh yeah.
Somebody shared that on Tumblr recently, and the caption was, everyone in Gotham when the Scarecrow shows up.
Oh no, fear toxin.
Didn't see that one coming. I'm like, it's so true.
Quickly followed by, oh god, spiders all over me. But like, I
talk about how in Arkham Knight somebody shoots up a whole diner.
Oh, yeah, that was... Oof.
Yeah, but so...
Well, to be fair, actually, no, that was a poor cop that Jason Todd was like, yeah, you know, it'd be great if I dosed him with fear toxin and made him shoot this whole diner.
Which is an optional thing again. You don't.
Well, yeah, it is. You don't actually have to
in
shoot.
Control of
Yeah.
doing that.
You don't actually have to shoot anyone, but
Yeah. So like I said, besides you, I think you really nailed the negatives pretty well.
Yeah.
That I was gonna go with as my only interjection would have been like, again, the anti-Semitic stuff that needs to not happen again, because that's not cool. That's not right.
yeah. Although, to be fair, I think they did. I think they did got the message loud and clear. So
It hasn't happened since. So.
Yes, it hasn't happened since. Yeah.
Are there any episodes in particular that really stood out to you that you liked a lot?
Well, probably the one the earliest one would be the one with Damien, just because it was fun watching everyone just rag on Damien.
Well, yeah, as you and I, who aren't really necessarily the biggest fans of Damien. I mean, I don't mind him.
He's good when people write him.
He has his moments.
Like, in the hands of a good writer, Damien can be enjoyable. Like, I like where Damien has kind of gotten to be, like, he's a little shit, but, like, you can clearly tell he cares for the rest of the members of the Bat family.
Yeah.
In his own way, and he's working, like, he wants to be, like, approved by his father. I liked him in Super Sons, where he got to hang out with Superman's son. And I actually think it really worked to, humanize him until Brian Michael Bendis came along and was like, but what if Jonathan was 16?
Again, Bendis needs to stop.
He really does. He really does.
Him and Tom King both.
But that one was really good.
Stop.
That one was really good, especially because that was the introduction to King Shark.
And King Shark is amazingly funny in this.
Yeah. Especially because, like,
no, I am not. I'm currently hooked up to a catheter right now. But as soon as I can pee normally, I am leaving.
That one is really funny, especially the end where Batman tries to talk to Damien about having an arch rival.
Yeah.
I guess you're right, Father. So when can I start having sex?
Oh, I think I heard that.
I want to say that's a Robot Chicken joke they copied.
Besides the episode we mentioned where they go into Harley's mind, I really liked.
Oh, no, that one was solid.
I really liked the episode where they... I mean, I liked the Queen of Fables one, the first one. Yeah. I also really liked the episode where they go to rescue Ivy and goes on the Harley Quinn highway, which is a freaking Hot Wheels track. And it's straight out of Hot Wheels stunt track driver for the PC. I don't know how many of you remember that game. You know exactly what I'm talking about if you've played it. It was like a stunt track. It was amazing.
That was actually really great because in the very early on in the season,
she stole a nuke.
She stole a nuke and demanded that Gotham name one of the highways after her. And so they rebuilt this highway later. So we find out later on they rebuilt the highway to be like a Hot Wheels track. All the buildings alongside it had to get repainted in Harley's colors.
There's like an arsenal with a rocket launcher that drops down.
Like there's a statue of her in it. I almost wish the statue was like the one in Futurama that Bender has those space Egyptians make. It's like that has like breathes fire and goes, "Remember me." That would have been amazing.
That would have been a great reference. But yeah, I really like those episodes.
That one was especially great because Ivy murders a couple of dudes with just a leaf that was on someone's windshield.
Yeah, it's like just reminding you how powerful she is.
Yeah.
I also really like the episode where because that's not the same. The episode prior where they go into Ivy's mind, I really liked as well.
Oh, that one was funny because they steal hazmat suits and like Clayface is in one that's too big or too small for him, and it's like you can clearly see him like oozing out of it, and Cy puts it over his body and the wheelchair.
It just looks so damn ridiculous. It's like something straight out of Breaking Bad.
Yeah. Poor King Sharks' his tear.
One of the guards in those episodes that's guarding Ivy, he's actually he's actually a teacher, and he's doing this as a side job to buy supplies, and I'm like, that's too real.
Oh man,
that's funny, but that's really too real.
Oh, he talks. He gets a call from like one of the students. He gets a call.
he gets a call from one of the parents.
Yeah.
I think Ivy even is like, whatever they're paying you, I'll triple it. I'll get you the nice colored markers
and everything. And construction paper.
Which again, I'm like, oh, that's too real. That's a really, that one hits. That one's like, too real.
No, that's almost too real.
It's too real to be a joke.
I also really love when
as someone who knows people that teach grade and high school level, that's too real.
I really love the episode where they introduce what the Legion of Doom looks like inside.
Oh, it led into one of our running jokes when watching the shows. Anytime they show it, we're just like, meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom. I'm like,
but like, I love it because like they see this aquarium that's like runs through like the center of the building, and King Shark sees there's a diver in there, and like they're like, you can eat any fish you want in there. Can I eat the diver? Sure, go ahead. It must be my birthday.
Yeah, he just goes nuts.
Because like, there's a lot of times where they imply King Shark eats people, but like not really.
He bites people's heads off all the time.
Oh yeah, no. When in the Damien episode, Damien was Superman helps Damien fight Harley, and he burst through the wall of the Daily Planet because like Harley
they've got Lois Lane held because she wrote a pretty negative article.
Well, it implies that like Robin's her nemesis for some reason. But like, so Damien wants to do the same thing, burst through the wall. He literally, because he's on like a flying like hover, he literally just smashes through the building himself, and you can clearly like throughout the rest of the episode he's bleeding from like the eyes and nose because he literally has like a concussion.
Yeah, but like, the blood, because he's being held upside down over this tank. That King
and the
Shark's
blood comes out of his eyes,
and King Shark just goes nuts.
Yeah, because he's a shark, so when the blood gets in the water, he just goes crazy.
Just a bite.
Just a bite.
It's like Bruce. So Bruce from Finding Nemo.
So Batman shows up and he
rips out the bat shark repellent,
which is just a sedative that knocks King Shark out.
But for those who don't get the joke of why that's funny, that is a reference to the 1960s Batman movie with Adam West. That's the thing. He's like, Robin, hand me down the shark
repellent bat spray. Yeah. Because meanwhile, he has this fake rubber shark on one of his.
Oh, it's so. If you haven't seen it, please put it in on YouTube. It comes up. It is so funny. Like, I get, like, for the time, that probably looked pretty impressive. Look at it now. It's just, it's comedy.
I don't know.
It is damn fun comedy.
This
is coming from someone that loves the 60s show.
Yeah, that was about as bad as the rubber snake Roger Moore fights in Moonraker.
Oh, my God.
You've seen that, right?
I've seen all what I love is that they do that, and then, like, a couple movies earlier, like Live and Let Die, he was running across actual alligators. That was real.
Yeah, no,
so it's like, man, a budget for this went downhill real quick.
One of these days we should do like a retro. We should do a James Bond episode about this because
you and I like James Bond. Yeah, I've read the books.
Although I kind of want to find like the movie packs, and you and I could just like watch every single.
I have most of them.
Oh, well, we could do that one of these. We could just watch every single one.
I have a great deal of them.
Yeah, we could just watch every single one and just talk about it. Where's that going with it?
You're just talking about like the bat shark repellent spray.
Yeah, which I thought the bat shark repellent reference in Arkham City was going to be like the be all end all of referencing the bat shark repellent.
Then they re-upped it because it's actual shark.
Yeah, no, he just pulls it out.
They don't even waste time on it. Like, here's the joke.
The best
For
part
those
is
that are gonna get it, you're gonna get it.
The best part is that like because they're on like a talk show in Gotham, and the Joker shows up. And, like, so they add a text thing underneath that says, Joker, Harley stole my man.
I should get a cap of that and make that the thumbnail for this video.
Like, it's so true. It's so...
Adam stole my podcast. It's so true. That episode was great because it was like one joke after the other, and then Ivy shows up and Harley's like, "Ivy, you showed up. Yeah, it seems half my life is cleaning up your shit." And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
And then like
they just kept getting better.
And then Harley falls on top of Ivy, and the whole audience in the show like goes,
"Kiss?" It's like, I'm like, That was an episode that just it kept ratcheting up. Like, okay, let's go. One more step. Let's go.
We gotta get more out. We got a limit. We're gonna
hit
clock,
the fucking
people.
stratosphere with these jokes.
Another episode that was like that was the episode where Clayface's hand gets cut off and becomes a
son of Clayface.
Yeah, son of Clayface. And he's just talking with Gordon, who's upset because Barbara's having an affair behind his back.
Not Barbara Gordon Batgirl.
Barbara Keene is Jim's wife, basically.
# comic books. Confusing.
Yeah, I don't know why they named their daughter after his wife.
That's weird.
But to be fair, his son's Jim Gordon Jr. So
well, I know there's some continuities where Barbara's adopted. So
yeah. But it's literally just an episode where Gordon is depressed and talking to this sentient hand.
Because Bruce told him, like, no, we're done.
Yeah, he takes the bat signal, which literally he just takes the bat logo off.
Because Gordon flipped it on. He's like, I just want to talk.
Yeah, because Gordon is just super lonely, and Batman's like, that's not a relationship, Jim.
So I'm like, oh bullshit, Bruce.
Well, it is kind of a reference because there's in Batman there's been a few times where Batman's been at low points and he wants to talk to Gordon, and Gordon's just like, because they go with the idea in year one where, like, Gordon's like, I don't know who I pretend not to know who you are, and we keep this professional. That's how you set it up between us. We don't. But later years in that with between them has clearly softened their relationship.
The animated series where they share coffee every year.
Yeah, or in the episode The Joker's Favor, where, like, Gordon's like, I'm getting this big honor, like, you should be getting one too, because you do just as much. And Batman's like, no, I'm just the night shift, Jim. You deal with this on a 24/7 basis. Shift. No, he says that. He's like, I'm just the night shift. I deal with stuff at night. You deal with it all day.
Yeah. What time are we at?
We're at an hour 6.
I think we've really nailed a lot of stuff.
But yeah, I also do love that because, like, Harley gets sent to the Batcave for some reason.
She the portal. Remember?
Yeah. The portal device. Gun. Yeah, that's right. She steals a portal gun because she's trying to get it big. But, like, I love it because, like, she's hanging from a stalactite by her shorts, and Batman's like, give me one reason why I should save you, Quinn. Which I'm like
really, Bruce?
Like, okay, Batman. I don't care what reality this is. You're gonna save her.
Is this the place where you fuck the bats? That's the recurring joke. Is that Harley thinks Bruce fucks bats?
I do not fuck bats, Quinn.
It's so damn funny. We're really similar. We're not similar. I mean, we're both wearing spandex. This isn't spandex.
No, because this Batman just, like, has no time for any nonsense.
He's so fed up with everybody's shit. No tanks.
Oh yeah,
are you in a tank right now? No, I'm on my bike.
I'm on a skateboard.
I'm like, Gordon, you fucking shitting me? You're on a skateboard?
All right, I want all you crazy maniacs and Carol. But yeah, so, like, in summary, like, if you felt burned by Birds of Prey, get a DC online account and watch this show because
borrow your friends,
or
use Fire Stick.
Or the secret ingredient,
crime.
Please support the official release.
Please do, because honestly, again, DC Universe is only like, what, $8 a month now?
Yeah, which it's very cheap. No, it's very cheap. Yeah,
I mean, not only are you getting this, you're getting every animated thing. Most of the movies are
not just movies and TV shows. You get a wide library of their comics.
They're on the process of digitizing all their comics. Like, I actually started reading the Cassandra Cain Batgirl run on there.
It's good, isn't it?
I'm only up to issue 3, but it's pretty good.
Well, guess what, Buckaroo? Because Birds of Prey was so bad, we're doing a Cassandra Cain perspective. We're going to talk about...
And I don't want to be tied to this chair.
Excuse me. You got to do Spider-Girl on this channel. We're doing a Batgirl one.
That's me.
We're going to do Cassandra Cain.
That's me. I'm special.
So join us next week when Doug becomes my new co-host.
Yo, no, listen. It'll be like that pilot. Doug's gonna rip my face off and just wear it. You're just like, no.
Oh God.
Love you, Doug.
But anyway, yeah, honestly, this show is really good. I had some problems with it at the beginning, but I honestly think it's really developed into its own thing.
It's picked up its own head of steam.
Yeah, You know, I'm looking forward to the very end of this season and season 2 as it comes out. But yeah, overall, like I said, it's just worth your time in my opinion.
Yeah, like I said, we were pretty skeptical going into it, and there's definitely been a big reward.
Totally.
Payoff for watching it. I really enjoy it. It was really hard to like not want to watch the next episode at home with my iPad. 'Cause I'm like, I can do it. Why shouldn't I?
And then you get a phone call. Hello? Hi, Colton.
And it's going on in the background. Are you watching Harley Quinn without me? No, man, I'm rewatching it. I'm binging it again.
Car suddenly crashing through the wall. Liar! You call me a liar? I'm calling you a truth.
But anyway, I think that's gonna do it for this episode, guys. So as usual, I'm Average Joe Squad.
I'm Zongetsu 134.
And as always, we ask you to remember the hyphen. Take care.